Goranga Balite Habe Pulaka Sharira Hari Hari Balite Nai Pabe Nira Goranga Balite Habe Pulaka Sharira Hari Hari Balite Nai Pabe Nira Ara kabeni tai chande karuna hoibe samsara vasana mora kabe tu chahabe Ara kabeni tai chande karuna hoibe samsara vasana mora kabe tu chahabe Vishaya Charya Kabe Shuddhabe Mana Kabe Hama Herava Shri Vrindavana Vishaya Charya Kabe Shuddha mana Kabe hama bhu habe robo Shirindavana Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoibe Akuti Kabe Hama Buddha Bose Yugala Piriti Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoibe Akuti Kabe Hama Buddha Bose Yugala Piriti Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoibe Akuti Kabe Hama Buddha Bose Yugala Piriti Rupa Raghunatha Pade Rahu Marasha Pratana Koroye Sada Narotamo Dasa Rupa Raghunatha Pade Rahu Marasha Pratana Koroye Sada Narotamo Dasa Goranga balite habe pulaka sharira Hari Hari balite naye pabe nira Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhangsa Parvadakacharya Asadhara Sadushi Shiman, His Divine Grace Shalasi Bhaktivedanta Swami Raj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Gaur Premanande Haribo Slava Zamrani Bhaktam Slava Shri Guru Shri Gurangi Om Agyan Atimanandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chaksur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapara Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Vrajana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakans Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu Dinabando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Dakanshina Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishubhanu Sudadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Drubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patiranam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pranitinanda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Srimad-bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 13, Brahma stealing the boys and calves, text number 6. Without any purport, I think we should take our lunch here since we are already hungry, because the time is very late. Let the calves may drink water and go slowly here and there and eat the grass. Accepting Lord Krishna's proposal, the cowherd boys allowed the calves to drink water from the river and then tied them to trees where there was green, tender grass. Then the boys opened their baskets of food and began to eating with Krishna in great transcendental pleasure. Text number 8. Krishnasya Vishvak Pura Raji Mandalir Lar Abhyanu Nana Puladrisho Rajar Baka Sahopavishta vipane virejush. Chadayatam boruha karnikaya. Krishnasya vishvak pura raji mandalar. Abhyanana pula drisho rajard bakai. Sahopavishta vipane virejush. Chadayatam buruha karnikaya. Shivishvak pura raji mandalar. Abhyanana pala drisho virajabaka. Sahopavishta vipane ridrejus. Chedayatam boruha karnikaya. Ladies. Vikrasta vishvak puru raji mandalar. Abhyanana pula dvisho virajuka. Sahopavishta vipane virejus. Chadayatam boruha karnikaya. Okay. Krishnasya Vishvak surrounding Krishna Puru Raji Mandalai by different encirclements of associates. Abhyanana, everyone looking forward to the center where Krishna was sitting. Puladrisha, their faces looking very bright because of transcendental pleasure. Raja Arvaka, all the cowherd boys of Brajabhumi. Saha Upavishta, sitting with Krishna. Vipane, in the forest. Vireju, so nicely and beautifully made. Chada, petals and leaves. Yata, just as. Amboruha, of a lotus flower. Karnikaya, of the whirl. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Like the whirl of a lotus flower surrounded by its petals and leaves, Krishna sat in the center, encircled by lines of his friends, who all looked very beautiful. Every one of them was trying to look forward toward Krishna, thinking that Krishna might look toward him. In this way, they all enjoyed their lunch in the forest. Purport. To a pure devotee, Krishna is always visible, as stated in the Brahma Samhita. Santak sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti. And as indicated by Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita, sarvata pani padam tat sarvato shishiro mukha. If by accumulating pious activities, krita punya punja, one is raised to the platform of pure devotional service, Krishna is always visible in the core of one's heart. One who has attained such perfection is all beautiful in transcendental bliss. The present Krishna consciousness movement is an attempt to keep Krishna in the center, for if this is done, all activities will automatically become beautiful and blissful. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutaya Srimate Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswatam Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Srinivadi Paskatyade Sadarane Vishaya Vinivartante Nirharasti Dehinam Rasavarjam Rasopyasya Param Drishva Nivartate. That the embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, though the taste for sense objects remains, but ceasing such engagements by experiencing a higher taste, one is fixed in consciousness. Or as it says in the srimad-bhagavatam, our main problem is that we think that there's something other which is more blissful or more pleasurable than Krishna. Therefore, sometimes we think about Krishna, and sometimes we don't think about Krishna. Or sometimes we think about Krishna, and usually we don't think about Krishna. Because we haven't come to the platform of concentrating our minds and giving our love to Krishna. Therefore, ye tamam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajamyaham. Mama vart manu vartante manusha partha sarvasha. As they surrender to me, then Krishna rewards us accordingly. As we think about Krishna, then Krishna thinks about us. As we feel for Krishna, then Krishna feels for us. Of course, Krishna always feels for us, but he doesn't make himself conscious to us unless we are trying to please Krishna. Therefore, the process of sadhana bhakti is the process of practicing. Bhajana kriya means to practice. It's not quite devotional service yet, as anyone who's honest, generally speaking, who's performing bhajana kriya knows they're actually not really devotees of Krishna, because we hardly know Krishna. And even if we theoretically know something about Krishna, there's a difference between, if someone read our biography, does that mean that they actually know us? Has anyone ever fell in love with someone by reading their biography? Maybe Krishna you can fall in love, or some transcendentalist, but who's going to give their heart to someone just by reading about what they did? No, we actually have to get to know the person personally and have some interaction with them. Therefore, the first interaction is to utilize things in Krishna's service, on the basis of sambandha, accepting at least that this world doesn't belong to us. Now, therefore, some Sankhya philosophy has to be there at the beginning to differentiate ourselves from these gross and subtle material bodies, and to understand how we're not directly the doers of what the activities we're performing in the material world, how they're performed either under the internal energy or under the external energy. It's simply up to us to desire which energy becomes manifested in our experience. And the material energy becomes manifested when we want to feel or believe or whatever that we're this body and that we're the enjoyers and the controller of this material world. And then the material nature makes itself visible within our consciousness. And when we think that I'm simply a servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna, and therefore everything here belongs to Krishna, is meant to be utilized in Krishna's service, that's the beginning of awakening of our spiritual consciousness. Therefore Krishna says, Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma Nashoshiti Nakangshiti Samak Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Lavate Param. One can become joyful, that is free from all anxiety, because being a material body, or thinking ourselves to be a material body, means we're automatically in anxiety. It may be to different degrees, but anyone who identifies themselves with this gross and subtle material body must be in anxiety. After all, this body is very temporary, and we have to leave it very shortly, and we don't know 100% where we're going. Therefore, obviously, we're going to be in some degree or another anxiety. We don't know how we're going to leave the body, what state, we don't know what our future really is. We don't know so many things. And it's all because of our identification with this gross and subtle body. Now, if we were situated in our spiritual body, this future of this body and our future where we're going wouldn't be as important, because this material world doesn't really have any direct effect on the soul. Certainly we're conscious of it, and we have to either enjoy or suffer whatever the circumstances we're under, if that's where our consciousness is focused on. But if our consciousness is focused on Krishna, then we don't have to enjoy or suffer this material existence, and according to how much we've concentrated our minds in the mood of service and love to Krishna, then we're under the Daivi Prakritim Ashritya. Then we're placed under the internal energy of Krishna, where there is only happiness and love. But until we practice utilizing whatever we have within our influence under Krishna's service, then by the workings of the material nature, we're forced to identify ourselves with this gross and subtle body. It seems completely natural. It's not that we have to go to college to identify ourselves with this body. We've been doing it since time immemorial. Whatever body we've gotten has become near and dear to us, and we're very much attached to it and absorbed in it. But gradually, by devotional service, causes, knowledge, and detachment may come. Vasudeve Bhagavati bhakti-yoga priyojitaha jana yai shivai ragyam jnana cha-tad apaishitam. The causes, knowledge, and detachment may come. Savai pumso pro dharmo yato bhaktir hokshade ahaituke pratiyata yatma supratiyadite. Therefore, Savai Pumso Paro, the real occupation for everyone, every living entity, especially human beings, is devotional service, so that causes, knowledge, and detachment follow. Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo, Yato Bhakti Ahokshaje, Ahaiti Ke Pratiyata Yatma Suprasidati. And then one can actually become satisfied. So we're learning, we're not the doer, we're the desirer, and therefore our consciousness, our desires are very important. As our desires flow through our mind, we can latch onto any one of them and focus our attention on them and become absorbed in them and experience them. Now, the absolute desire, the absolute thought and consciousness is that of Krishna consciousness. But as long as we have so many other conflicting desires, sometimes it's like when you put the iron in the fire, sometimes it gets hotter and hotter, but if you keep on taking it out, it never quite gets hot. And therefore we never really see a big difference between material desire and spiritual desire. We more or less think they're similar, hopefully at least similar, until we get absorbed in some desire which is very unpleasant, and then after some time we may realize it's unpleasant and try and change it and realize we made a mistake absorbing our consciousness. But generally speaking, Maya is such that Maya will convince us that we have not only every right, we have a duty to hate people, to be envious of people, to lament and hanker. Maya would tell us that's our obligation. That's what we're supposed to be doing. And Maya will always tell us there is some happiness in material existence and sense gratification. And if you can't experience it directly, at least mentally you can try to experience it and have the best time you can. Until we get tired of it and by some intelligence realize I just wasted my time. Till we waste our time again. But there is progress. In other words, if one becomes aware of actually a more broad vision of what's going on, how much people suffer, including ourselves, by becoming attached to these modes of material nature, how much degraded society has become by so much false propaganda about the glories of sense gratification, then one may become a little bit more determined to regulate one's senses, and then by regulating the senses, become capable of hearing a little bit more clearly what actually is the philosophy, which is about regulating the senses to begin with. Unless we regulate the senses, it's very hard to hear about and take seriously the philosophy about regulating the senses and engaging them in Krishna service. Therefore we think, oh, that's not very important. I'm already doing that the best I can, no worries. So in the beginning, regulating the senses, and then fixing the mind upon Krishna, we think I'm a good person, I'm a good devotee if I just go to the program. And somehow or another, some thought about Krishna comes to mind, it means I'm perfect, at least for that moment. Where the mind's going, even during the program, the sadhana, we're not so much concerned. We don't think, oh, I should try a little harder. And what to speak of outside the program, then we're free. Then the mind can just go anywhere. The temple is kind of like, this is the place where you're supposed to be good, and outside you can just be whatever you are. Be more natural. Less repressed. So, if we actually start regulating our senses and we start thinking about Krishna a little bit more, we take it seriously, that when we see a picture of Krishna, we should take it seriously. That this is Krishna, it's not just a picture, these are the deities, they're not just statues, these are devotees, Krishna is in their heart. Then we'll actually take the idea of spiritual authorities more seriously, that they can actually give me not only a vision, but an example of how to live in spiritual life, to actually deepen my consciousness of Krishna. So then sadhus, shiksha gurus, diksha gurus, sadhus, they all we treat them with more respect, more consideration, more service attitude, and not that everyone's more or less the same. People who like me, they're good, and people who don't like me, they're bad. That's how Krishna judges people's, whether they're good or bad according to how much their relation with me. What their relation with Krishna is doesn't really matter. It's the relation with me that counts. Me, my false ego, not me, the soul, because I don't even know who I am. But my false ego is very important, and people should take it very important and with great consideration to satisfy my false ego. So when one actually takes consideration, careful consideration, that my service is to serve the directions of the sadhus all the time in all my relationships, the example and the instructions, so that I learn to see Krishna everywhere, within the hearts of everyone, by appropriately serving Krishna. Then one can actually have some space to give love to Krishna and to all living entities, and see that that's to my progress. If we're not giving love means if we're not associating with Krishna and his instructions through his devotees, if we're not feeling the happiness of Krishna, the love for Krishna towards all living entities, then I won't feel it either. Then I'll see everyone in relation to my own false ego, and therefore I'll be sometimes in goodness, sometimes in passion, sometimes in ignorance. Enjoying the three modes, Purusha, Prakriti, Stohi, Bonte, Prakriti Jangunan, Karna Guna Sangosya, Sad Asadyoni Janmisu. Thus the living entities follow the ways of life, enjoying the three modes. There's enjoyment in ignorance. I mean, what could be more enjoyable when you're tired and the pillow's right there next to your head, and you're going to go into Never Never Land, and no one's going to bother you there, unless you had a really bad dream. Then you can always wake up and go back to sleep and try and get a better one. And what's a greater feeling than feeling that this person's a demon and I'm a saint? How good I feel about myself. I just love myself because I'm so good compared to everyone else. So how much we take pleasure in our own false ego. We love everything about this body, even the way it smells. Everyone else may find it disgusting, but we're absorbed, we appreciate it. Everything, even our body smells terrible, but to us it smells like sandalwood paste. So there's a product of illusion, until we actually realize that this illusion is not very helpful. If I actually want to feel transcendental happiness, real pleasure, real existence, then the only thing that is there is prema or bhakti. Everything else is illusion. There's nothing else going on in the spiritual world or in this world in reality except for transcendental love and pleasure. Seeing things in relation to Krishna. Everyone and everything in their relationship to Krishna. The external activities of the soul, of the body, under the modes may not be very attractive to some degree. But everyone is a soul. Everyone has an eternal loving relation with Krishna. So unless we see that, then we're only seeing partially. Seeing partially is called Maya. And only when we see everyone and everything as the loving eternal servant of Krishna, manifesting that love through the modes of eternal nature, can we understand things properly. That everyone is actually looking for Krishna, they just misdirected, that's all. Everyone's looking for some hero to save them and bring them to the highest platform of happiness, but that person is Krishna and no one else. And those who follow Krishna. So if someone's following Krishna to whatever extent, then we have to appreciate them. So first we have to learn respect towards Krishna and his energies, then we also have to learn appreciation. So that begins with humility, then tolerance. Tolerating our mind is our main thing, our material conceptions. The fact that sometimes we're in lust, sometimes we're in greed, sometimes we're in anger, frustration, and every stage of our consciousness we justify it, even with scriptures sometimes. How I'm perfectly qualified and I deserve to be lusty, angry, and greedy. This is what I deserve. Certainly what we deserve, but certainly not the most greatest reward we can get. So we can also change it through tolerance tolerating, and then choose a higher standard of appreciation. We have to have everyone we have a relation with, we can't avoid it. Everything we have a relation with it. So either it's on the modes of nature or it's the platform of transcendental appreciation. And only when we get transcendental appreciation can we, for the devotees and for their activities, can we give up our misdirected objectives in life, to get followers, to get wealth, to get appreciation, feminine appreciation or masculine appreciation, or even to get liberation. Only when we learn how to love and appreciate, because we can't have overwhelming prema, at least we can have appreciation of the devotees' activities. Then in that appreciation, then we can give up our attachment to these lower things of material existence, these lower objectives of life. And then we can actually take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, because Krishna, that's all he's doing, is developing his love and appreciation for his devotees. And the devotees are developing love and appreciation for Krishna and his devotees. That's all that's really love and appreciation. So therefore here we have an example. The cowboys are sitting around Krishna, taking their prasadam, and just loving Krishna, appreciating. Because it's not that they have nothing else to do, and Krishna happened to wind up in the center, but he is unlimitedly beautiful and unwise and lovable. He's unlimitedly everything, so therefore they can unlimitedly appreciate him forever. And we can do that too if we want to. Or we can choose something insignificant. Nite vidu swartagatim Vishnu durashaya ye bhara artiman. Get caught up in the values of modern society, in the hopes of modern society, but it's all waste of time. Shrama eva hi kevalam. Without Krishna, they're just wasting their time. They're just going to fall into more and more lower activities without having guidance of a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada. They're simply being misdirected. They don't know that the objective is to focus the mind on Krishna, therefore they'll try to do so many things to become happy and peaceful and safe in this world. But it'll all be a waste of time, because it's punak punas charvata charvananam. People have tried since time immemorial to be happy without Krishna, and they've all failed. So what we're seeing is a huge society glorifying how much they're making progress, but actually they're just wasting their time without Krishna. So we were trying to be merciful and try to add Krishna to our lives and add Krishna to other people's lives, and then they'll have something worthy to focus their mind and give their love to and appreciation. So I'll stop there. Thank you. Any questions or comments? This is for victory. Yes.
I can remember that in school or in college or in work, anywhere, we have some people around us, and we some kind of idols. I can understand that actually that's our need to have Krishna in our life. But without Krishna, we try to find somebody to be attached to. Can we understand in that way? Because in I don't know, in school there is always in every class there is somebody who is like a kind of idol for others, or maybe not for everybody, but for me, you know. And we want his or her association and to be in the same team and always close and something like that. And this verse actually actually reminds me of some of such situations in my life when I was kid or
it's eternal. It's not just some time. Everyone has to choose a leader and follow them. So, because everything is a manifestation of Krishna and his energies, therefore we choose the best, whatever attracts us. Yad yad acharya shestas tad tad evetaro janaha siyat pramanam kurute lokas tadanuvartate. Whatever a great man does, common men follow in his footsteps. Whatever standard he sets by his exemplary acts, all the world pursues. So everyone has to choose a leader. Mahajano yena kata sapanta tarka pratishta shutiya vibhina nasavari shiryasyani bina dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajano yena kata sapanta. That's all people argue about. Who actually is the leader? Then they cite other prominent people to confirm their opinion. They cite some kind of evidence, some kind of authority to support their opinion. But within the heart, everyone has to choose a leader, and then they'll follow them, that's all. Wherever the leader goes, that's where they'll go. Our leaders, they're leaders because they follow some other leader. Follow some other leader. But ultimately the real leader is Krishna, the ultimate leader is Krishna. And according to how much one follows Krishna, to that degree one becomes attractive as a leader. Anything else? Hvala Grantara Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnava Vangsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathannitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Parisam Krishna Chaitanya Evam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakha Nitansham Bhajasi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Bhaja Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
transcendent